The Trump administration is planning a push to convince the American public that the current U.S. immigration system is bad for American workers and bad for American security, White House spokesman Hogan Gidley told AP. Between the lines, in exchange for a legislative fix for DACA recipients, the White House wants funding for a border wall and a switch from the existing family-based immigration system to a merit-based one. They plan to use data on chain migration and the number of immigrants in U.S. jails to make the case that the current immigration system is an economic and national security threat. Background: Richard Nixon and John F. Kennedy successively appointed 11 appeals court judges in their first year. Former President Barack Obama successively appointed 3 appeals court judges in his first year in office in 2009, as well as Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. His predecessor, George W. Bush, got 6 confirmed. What they're saying. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, who has spearheaded the effort, said Republicans were having a historic week. Sen. Dianne Feinstein, the ranking Democrat on the Senate Judiciary Committee, lambasted Republicans, saying that the speed at which these judges are being rammed through the process is stunning. Go deeper: judicial appointments are the sleeper story that matters. President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin spoke over the phone Thursday. Trump thanked Putin for praising the U.S. economy, and the two of them discussed the North Korean nuclear threat, per the White House. Backdrop: the call came hours after Putin said allegations of collusion between the Trump campaign and the Kremlin were invented by Trump's enemies at an annual press conference, AP reports. Putin said, "This is all made up by people who opposed Trump to make his work look illegitimate. Look at the markets, how they went up. That speaks about investors' trust in what he does," echoing Trump. The most important number in Thursday's report was a 43.5% increase in e-commerce sales year-over-year. Though Costco stock is up more than 18% this year, it has lagged competitors like Amazon and Walmart over fears that the company is clinging too tightly to its profitable retail warehouses. These numbers will assuage some of those concerns. During a call with analysts Thursday, CFO Richard Galante stressed that Costco is experimenting with e-commerce in our own way, and also, pretty cheaply, using experiments like buy and pick up in store, which has the added benefit of driving traffic to its warehouses. It's a delicate balancing act that, so far, investors are cheering. Lack of diversity of Trump's cabinet: Ben Carson, Elaine Chao, who is Asian American, and Nikki Haley, who is Indian American, are the only non-white members of Trump's cabinet. Omarosa also suggested traces of racial tension within the White House, as she said on Good Morning America, "As the only African-American woman in the White House, I have seen things that have made me uncomfortable, that have upset me, that have affected me deeply and emotionally, that has affected my community and my people." Peshawar, who is best known as an early investor in Uber while with the previous VC firm, already had taken a leave of absence from Sherpa and his portfolio companies' boards. He also is pursuing a lawsuit against a political opposition research firm that he claims is behind a smear campaign against him. Peshawar's statement, which he posted via Twitter, but as U.S. carriers saw a 10% spike in overall revenue passenger miles between 2014 and 2016, energy efficiency fell by the wayside and CO2 emissions jumped by 7%. The other leaders in fuel efficiency include Frontier and Spirit, which use cleaner fleets, higher load factors, denser seating configurations, and more. Virgin America was the least fuel-efficient U.S. carrier in 2016. JetBlue came second to last. One more thing: Alaska Airlines bought Virgin American last year. Dan Rutherford, aviation director at the ICCT, told Axios that a back-of-the envelope suggests that Alaska would have lost its fuel efficiency advantage over Frontier, Spirit, and Southwest in 2016 if the merger had gone ahead then. But Alaska's future efficiency will depend on how it actually operates Virgin's leased A320s, and also for how long. President Trump says he's confident the GOP tax bill will get Sen. Marco Rubio's vote, despite a Washington Post report that Rubio is threatening to vote against the plan unless it includes the child tax credit expansion he has been advocating for. Trump made the comments at a White House event where he cut the red tape of government regulations and claimed his administration has ended 22 old regulations for every new one created. Florida Republican Sen. Marco Rubio informed Senate leaders that he would vote against the Republicans' $1.5 trillion tax plan unless it includes the child tax credit provision he has been advocating for, a Senate GOP source told The Washington Post. Why it matters: Republicans can afford to only lose 2 votes to pass it through the Senate. Bob Corker, who voted no on the Senate bill, said he'll consider the conference's final version. Rubio turning on the bill would mean Vice President Pence would be needed to break the tie. Editors note this post has been updated to reflect Corker's statement on the conference version of this bill.